Picture this scenario. You're stopped at a traffic light. To your left pulls up a brand new, gleaming BMW. Behind the wheel is a guy your age. On his wrist is a watch that probably costs as much as your annual salary. He looks confident, successful. He practically radiates that expensive lifestyle energy. Now, look to your right. There's a beat-up, 10-year-old Ford. Behind the wheel is a man in a regular t-shirt sipping coffee from a thermos. Here's the question: who's wealthier? Your brain instantly screams, obviously the guy in the BMW. Are you blind? But here's the thing. Statistics, math, and harsh reality tell us the opposite. With close to 90% probability, the guy in the BMW is one paycheck away from bankruptcy. And the guy in the Ford could buy that BMW in cash right now. He just chooses not to. We live in a world where looking rich has become more important than being rich, and this chase for status is the most expensive financial mistake you're making. And I spend way too much time analyzing how money controls our psychology. If you feel like you're working more and more but have less and less money left over, and you constantly want to buy something new to feel better about yourself, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Today, we're breaking down the mechanics of poverty disguised as success. Look, I'm not going to lecture you with skip the latte and you'll become a millionaire nonsense. That's garbage, but there's a fundamental problem that most people simply ignore. We confuse wealth with income. These are two completely different concepts. Income is how much money you earn per month. Wealth is what you have left when you don't spend it. And this is where it gets really interesting. When you see someone in a car worth $100,000, the only thing you know for certain about their finances is that they now have $100,000 less than they did before buying it. Or worse, they now have $100,000 in debt that will suck the life out of them for the next 5 years. Real wealth is invisible. It's not cars, not watches, not designer clothes. Wealth is stocks, bonds, real estate, retirement accounts. It's money that hasn't been turned into things yet. But we're visual creatures. It's hard for us to admire someone's brokerage account because we can't see it, but we easily admire a new iPhone. And here we fall into the first psychological trap. It's called the Diderot effect. In the 18th century, French philosopher Denis Diderot lived in poverty until he received a luxurious scarlet robe as a gift. The robe was magnificent, but when Diderot put it on and sat at his desk, he noticed that his old shabby desk looked terrible against such a magnificent robe. So he bought a new desk. Then he realized the carpet didn't match the new desk and bought an expensive carpet. Then a mirror, then a chair. Eventually, he completely renovated his interior, went into debt, and remained broke. Sound familiar? You bought a new iPhone, but walking around with it in old sneakers feels awkward. You buy expensive sneakers. Then you need AirPods because wires are so last decade. Then an Apple Watch. Then you realize that riding the subway with such a set of gadgets isn't respectable, and you get a car on credit. One purchase made for status triggers a chain reaction of consumption that never ends. You don't control your possessions control you. Now, you might be thinking, so what? I work hard. I deserve these things. We only live once. Fair enough. But let's look at the math. And I warn you, the numbers I'm about to share might scare you. Let's take a classic example of status consumption, a car. Let's say you earn $2,000 per month, a decent salary for many areas. You want to keep up appearances, and you finance a $40,000 car. Only $800 to $1,000 per month payment, right? Seems manageable. But here's what most people don't account for: opportunity cost. If you pay the bank $1,000 per month for 5 years, you're giving away about $60,000, including interest. During this time, your car will depreciate by approximately 40 to 50%. So after 5 years, you have an asset worth $20,000 to $24,000. You literally burned $36,000 just to sit in traffic in comfort. Now imagine an alternate universe. In this universe, you bought a modest car for $8,000, and the difference, those same $800 per month, you invested in an index fund at a modest 12 to 15% annual return. You know what happens in 5 years? You'll have a capital of over $70,000, and in 10 years, if you continue at the same pace, over $200,000. See the difference? In one scenario, you have an old car depreciating and zero in your account. In the other, $200,000 that can generate passive income exceeding your salary. The price of your showing off isn't the cost of the car, it's the cost of your financial freedom. Every time you buy a liability to impress others, you're stealing money from your future self. You're stealing years of life that you could have spent not working. And here's where it gets really interesting. Why do we do this? Why are we so desperately trying to look rich, even if it makes us poor? It's evolutionary biology. Thousands of years ago, our status in the tribe determined our survival. If you're the chief or close to him, you get the best food and the best mates. If you're an outcast, you die. Our brains are programmed to seek approval and display resources. But in the modern world, this mechanism is broken down. There's something called the man in the car paradox. When you see someone in a Ferrari, you don't think about what a cool guy is behind the wheel. No, you think, I wish I had that Ferrari. I would look cool in it. The irony is that when you buy that Ferrari, or BMW, or Camry in top trim, people don't admire you. They admire the car and imagine themselves in your place. They couldn't care less about you. You spend years of your life earning money at jobs you don't like to buy things you don't need to impress people who don't care about you. It's a closed loop of misery. You might say, I genuinely like quality things. iPhone is convenient and BMW has good sound insulation. It's not for showing off, it's for myself. Okay, I believe you. Comfort is important, but let's be honest, is the difference in comfort between a $300 phone and a $1,500 phone worth going into debt for? Is leather upholstery worth working at a job you hate for an extra 3 years? If you have the cash to buy these things without compromising your future, great, buy them, enjoy them. The problem isn't the things. The problem is you're buying them with money you don't have. There's a simple rule that will help you understand whether you can afford a particular purchase. It's called the 10% rule. If you want to buy a toy, watch, phone, handbag, its cost should not exceed 10% of your net worth or liquid savings. Want a new phone for $1,500? Great, you should have $15,000 in savings or investments. If you don't have 15 grand, then this phone isn't within your means. You're too poor for this phone. Sounds harsh? Maybe, but this is exactly how people who actually build wealth think. There's an amazing study from the book The Millionaire Next Door. The authors studied people with net worth from $1 to $10 million. Know what they found? Most of them don't live in elite neighborhoods, don't drive the latest model cars, and don't wear $5,000 suits. They look like regular people. That's exactly why they became millionaires. They spent less than they earned over a long period. And those who live in gated communities and drive Bentleys are often people with high income but low net worth. They earn a lot but spend it all to maintain status. They're running on a treadmill at maximum speed. If they stumble, lose their job, get sick, their beautiful life will fall apart in a couple of months. So, what choice will you make? Being rich or looking rich? These are two different paths, and you can't walk both simultaneously. If you choose to be rich, you'll have to accept that others might not appreciate your success right now. You'll have to drive a simpler car while your investments grow. You'll have to use an older phone while compound interest works its magic. This requires character. This requires discipline. It's much easier to buy the illusion of success on credit and get that dopamine hit right now. But believe me, there's nothing sexier or more status-worthy than complete absence of financial anxiety. When you know you can quit at any moment, when you know your family is protected, when you own your time, that's real status. Stop playing games you can't win. Stop competing with your neighbor who's probably up to their eyeballs in debt. Start building your personal foundation. Start small. Next time your hand reaches to pay for something expensive and flashy, ask yourself one question. Am I buying this because I genuinely need it or because I want others to see that I have it? An honest answer to this question could save you millions. If this video made you think, if you recognized yourself or your acquaintances, hit that like button.
It'll help YouTube's algorithms show this video to those who desperately need it right now. And write in the comments what was your dumbest purchase just for showing off. Let's discuss it below.